We develop quality citizens who keep our corps, our country, and our communities side by side on the winning side. Not for glory, but for honor. For a code that isn't written or spoken, but lived.
Hey, what's up guys? Glad to be back with another video. This video is going to be a little bit shorter, but it's going to be about your enlistment options. So when you're going to talk to a recruiter, it's a good idea to already have an idea of what it is that you're trying to do, whether that's active duty, reserve, whatever the case may be. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about each of them, so that way you can decide which one is best for you. Just because some people are active duty doesn't mean that you need to be active duty, or just because your friends are reserves doesn't mean that the reserves is the right fit for you. So let's get started. What is the main difference between active duty and the reserves? So active duty, basically this is your 9-to-5 job. This is what you do every single day. You either live right off base or you live on base, depending if you're, a couple different factors, whether you're married or not. But this is what you do. You do your 4 years, 6 years, whatever you decide to do, and then you get out and you go back home. Versus the reserves. Now the reserves, you have a very small commitment to whatever branch of service you're joining. Typically you train 1 weekend per month and 2 weeks during the summer. Every summer, the 2-week course is known as AT or annual training. So that being said though, if you're a reservist, you're not getting paid like the folks who are doing this every single day. Active duty, you're going to get paid twice a month. On the 1st and the 15th of every single month, you have a guaranteed check coming in. While you're a reservist, however, you only get paid on the time that you spend on active duty. So whether that's during your drill weekends, your AT, sometimes you have the ability to go to different schools if your unit wants to send personnel to other schools. There's definitely a multitude of options in terms of being reservist, being put on active duty orders. If you want to serve the 1 weekend per month and 2 weeks in the summer, that's absolutely fine, but I'm just telling you that there will be times and options in which you can do more than that if you choose to. There's also another program not a lot of people know about. It's called the 92-Day Reservist Program. So, like it says, you are a reservist. However, it's going to be split up differently. So let's just go through an example so you guys can understand. If I'm active duty or I'm a reservist, I'm going to go through the same exact training pipeline just like my counterpart. So you're going to go through your 13 weeks of boot camp. You're going to go through your 4 weeks of MCT. You're going to go through your MOS school, however long that is. Now the difference is when you're a reservist, you go back home. When you're active duty, they can send you to pretty much any place within the United States and even some overseas. So more than likely you will not be stationed anywhere near home, versus being a reservist, you're home 90% of the time. You typically are going to have a regular civilian job or possibly go to school on top of your reserve commitment. Now a 92-day reservist, they go through boot camp. Then, however, they go back home and they're attending school. It's basically a college program. But don't get that confused with like ROTC or anything like that. It's a program which you do while you're in college, but I guess it's not an actual college program. So basically you'll go to boot camp, you'll come back, you'll do another semester of college, then you'll go back to Marine Combat Training, MOS school, finish out your schooling, and that's how they do it. Versus your traditional reservists where they do the same exact thing as their active duty counterparts in terms of training. So you're going to be boot camp, MCT, and MOS school. They just knock it right out, just like the active duty. So there are some differences. If you're a college student though, and you're pretty close to graduating, the 92-day reservist program is a pretty good option if that's something you're interested in. It's not very popular though. Most people just do the typical reserve. If they plan to be reserves, they just do the typical reserves route because they're going to have plenty of time to do school once they get home. So yeah, those are the three main different ways to enlist into the military. In terms of what you want to do, if you already have a pretty good income, you have a good maybe a good career, you have your life pretty much set where you are, but you're thinking about joining the military, the reserves is honestly a great option. If you're a kid or a young adult who maybe doesn't have the best job, doesn't really want to go to school right now, but maybe has plans in the future, or maybe you can't afford it, active duty military is probably the best route for you. You're going to gain a lot of knowledge, experiences, money for school, because the money for school on active duty versus the money for school on the reserve side, there is no comparison. Your GI Bill as an active duty service member once you're out is basically any school is paid for, bar none. So you have your GI Bill benefits, and you also have tuition assistance while you're actively in the service. You can use tuition assistance. Once you're out, you can tap in your GI Bill and pretty much go to whatever school you want for free. Reserves does not work that way. It's actually like a couple $100 per month towards each month that you're going to school. So if anyone has been to school before, they understand that, that a few $100 per month during the semester is basically covering books. I mean, it's barely even scratching the surface on tuition. Even if you're going to a small community college versus a large university, you're still going to have a lot of out-of-pocket expenses as a reservist. Now, the upside is you're going to have plenty of time to go to school. So if you already had a good career, or you had a lot of money saved up, or whatever, and you decide to go to school on the reserve side, nothing's holding you back. There is no guarantee you can go to school versus whether that's online or a brick and mortar campus while you're on active duty. Your main focus is not education. Your main focus is being an active duty service member in whatever branch you are. So that's something that you guys need to keep in mind. When I joined I was originally a reservist. I thought, the school benefits were going to be at least on par or similar to active duty in terms of the money I was going to receive for school, and I was completely mistaken. So I just want you to keep that in mind. If you have any more in-depth questions about reservists, 92-day reservists, or active duty, be sure to comment below. I'm just going off of a general template in my head. Like when I was enlisting, I didn't even know that the 92-day reservist program was even out there. When I first decided to join the military, I didn't really know much of a difference between active duty and reserves. So if you have more in-depth questions that I did not cover within this video, be sure to comment below. I'll either be able to comment back and let you know, or if it's a more in-depth question, I'll be able to make a complete separate video on it and go into more detail about it for you. By the way, please check out the Instagram, same as my YouTube, Devil Dog Dumbbell. It's more fitness-based information more than it is military-based. However, if you're looking to get in shape, or if you're in a bodybuilding or powerlifting or CrossFit, whatever it may be, or you're more on the nutritional side of things, you don't really know what to eat, when to eat it, how to eat it, whatever, be sure to check out my Instagram. I think you'd actually really enjoy it. Please subscribe. Again, if you have more questions, comment below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.